This week, I missed out on two of the cleanest BTC long setups I've seen in months. Not because the setups weren't there, it's because I was looking for perfection. Now, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly my thought process and why I missed out on these trades and the mistakes that I made so you and I won't make these same mistakes again going forward. Now make sure you stay until the end of this video because I'll be breaking down from higher time frame all the way to the lower time frame how I would have taken this differently if it was to show up again. Now on the weekly time frame, let's go over this and show you exactly my thought process from weekly all the way down to execution. Well, very clearly what we can see on BTC is prices trending to the downside. As we move to the downside, we're grabbing liquidity and we continue moving down. We're grabbing liquidity, coming into key areas, and we continue moving down. Now, as we come into a key level down here, which is your 60K region, we would then begin to look for potential reversal opportunities as a short-term move to the upside into key areas. Well, what we can see down here is price grabs liquidity, we move up. As we move up, we come into a key area known as your fair value gap, and we continue moving down. Now, as we continue moving down, we sweep liquidity, come into the 60K region. And what do we expect? Well, we would expect as we get the sweep of liquidity that for this week's candle, we'll have a bullish move to the upside. Therefore, on the weekly time frame, the most important thing to take from this is that we have a weekly bias from this week. Now, let's go on the daily time frame and show you exactly what I was looking at. Well, similarly on the daily time frame, we can see the sweep down here into the fair value gap. Price moves down and we get bearish order flow. As we get bearish order flow, price sweeps this liquidity down here. Now, when we get the sweep of liquidity, we don't close below it. We sweep the 60K, we don't close below this sweep down here, and we get this candlestick down here, this bullish candlestick on the Wednesday. Now, as we get this bullish candlestick, this was my sign to look for executions on the lower time frame. So the most important thing to take away from the weekly and the daily is that I am looking for bullish setups and my bias is bullish for this week. Now let's go on the lower time frame and look at the most important key things. Now, using the replay tool, what am I looking at? Well, I am looking at some key things. Number one, the sweep of liquidity down here. I would like to see the sweep of liquidity, which we got. And as we get the sweep of liquidity, what do I need to look for next? Well, I need to look for bullish intent. What does that look like? Well, basically bullish order flow like this. Now, the most important thing I would like to see is also a break of market structure. So if we continue playing price, we can see very clearly down here, we had a break of market structure. Now, that's exactly what I wanted to see and my first sign to be ready to execute. Now, the most important thing down here and what you need to be careful of is as we had the sweep of liquidity, we had the move to the upside. Similarly, down here, we had the sweep of liquidity, we had the move to the upside, but we also had the break of market structure down here. We did not have a break of market structure down here. In fact, price moves down. We did not get a continuation to the upside. Down here, what do we have? We had a bullish candle, price breaks market structure. Now, there's a possibility that price can come back into this fair value gap and we'll get the continuation to the upside. Now, in fact, that's exactly what I was looking for. And now this is the most important thing you need to understand as a trader, that you cannot keep looking for perfection. Now, going on the 1 hour time frame, I will show you exactly what I was trying to identify. Well, as we get the break of market structure, we had this move to the upside. What I was waiting for was a couple of things. The very first thing was for price to come back into a key area. Now, where is that key area? Well, we have this fair value gap down here. And also, I would like to see a sweep of liquidity. And this is the area I was looking for a sweep of liquidity. Now, if we continue playing price, what do we see? Well, in fact, we see the sweep of liquidity down here, but price fails to come into this fair value gap. And now this is where I was looking for perfection, and perfection didn't come. And that's why you need to be very, very mindful of what is happening. Well, in fact, what's happening is price has already grabbed the liquidity that we were anticipating, And that was more than enough. So in fact, as we grab that liquidity and we get this bullish candle to the upside on the 1 hour time frame, this would have been your execution rather than waiting for price to come back into this fair value gap down here. We could have taken an entry based on this 1 hour time frame down here with your stop loss below the lows, as you can see on the charts. Now that would have been the first entry. Now if you missed this first entry, there was a second entry for us to take as well. And I also didn't take this because my mindset wasn't there. I was quite annoyed by the fact that price was moving without me and not coming back into this area. And so that made me think that I was quite frustrated. And the most important thing was I didn't actually execute on the trade. So what we can see now is as price action moves to the upside, what we can see is price comes up and now we create this new dealing range down here. Now, what can we see within this new dealing range? Well, I put on a fib from these lows to these highs. We have the 61.8 to the 78.6 OTE level. We also have an inverted fair value gap down here. Now, for me, this is a very, very clean entry that I definitely should have taken as it ticks all the boxes in my execution criteria. But because I didn't take this entry, it played with my mind and I was expecting for price to still come back into this area down here. But what I forgot and what I didn't understand at the time was price swept the liquidity down here. We done what we were expecting and liquidity was grabbed. Now price was ready to move to the upside. So this would have been your second entry at this inverted fair value gap OTE level down here. Now let's see how price plays out. And your first profit level would have been down here. Now your first target is down here because of these liquidity areas and this liquidity area. Again, this is a scalp entry. I'm not looking for areas on the daily time frame for me to take profit. I'll be looking on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Now, as we come into this area down here, I will be taking at least 50% of my position, moving my stop loss to break even, letting the rest ride to this area down here. So let's see how that plays out. And there we have it. Price takes out both target areas down here. So what did I learn from this week? A good setup taken is worth infinitely more than a perfect setup missed. ICT gives us the framework, liquidity, market structure, dealing ranges, OTE levels, etc. When all of those line up, you don't need to wait for every single time frame and every single thing to align for you to take an entry. I'm sharing this with you because I guarantee at least some of you that are watching this have done exactly the same thing this week. You saw the setup, you hesitated, and then you watched it move without you. That feeling is part of trading. The goal is to make sure it happens less and less over time. And if you want to see my full weekly analysis breakdowns every Sundays as I do, for you to spot these setups yourself, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.